Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Martial Master based on novel. So let's start. The terrifying aura surged across the heavens and the earth, and the heavenly sword gas turned into a light that cut away the evil in the world, and fell crazily. Puff. The terrifying sword light fell. Shangguan 11er hurriedly urged the diamond bracelet. Bang. The diamond bracelet burst into a dazzling light, flew from a distance, and instantly blocked her. Under the chopping of the mysterious rust sword, the diamond bracelet trembled violently, and might be slashed at any time. Shangguan Xie's eyes were frightened and roared, "No, Qin Chen, I was wrong, I knew it was wrong." She banged, knelt on the ground, and confessed in pain, "Qin Chen, have you forgotten how we fell in love? How many ups and downs have you forgotten, how many days and nights? You and I are gentle and lingering. I believe you don't have me in your heart, you still. Do you love me?" It was Feng Xiaoyu at the beginning, and everything was forced by Feng Xiaoyu. In order to get me, he put medicine in my tea, and I was helpless, so I was committed to him. In fact, I really love you only. Really, the only thing I'm right in this life. A man has moved his heart, it is you. Shangguan Xie shouted anxiously, regaining her former innocence, tears streaming down her face, and on top of her beautiful face, she begged to look at Qin Chen. Her pitiful eyes looked like the former Shangguan family was destroyed. When she found herself crying. Looks like. This scene touched Qin Chen's heart. His thoughts returned to 300 years ago in an instant. Everything is like smoke, water, and clouds, like a dreamy shadow. "Oh, you love me." Qin Chen laughed and laughed up to the sky, but there were tears in the corner of his eyes. Such a woman still has the face to say that she loves herself. "Qin Chen," Shangguan Xie said in pain, "give me a chance to change my mind. You must still love me, right? We were so affectionate back then, how could we not love it all at once? You don't believe me, hard. Do you still believe in yourself? You are Po Chen Wu Huang, the top figure in the mainland. If I didn't have you in my heart, I would have been by your side for so long, but you would never see it." Shangguan Xie regrets so much, she is confessing, in fact, she really regrets it in her heart. Qin Chen's heart shook, and there were tears in the corners of his eyes. Yeah, this is the point he didn't understand. He is the Emperor Wu Chen. Although he is devoted to studying the alchemy and blood, he is not ignorant of people. Otherwise he would not be in many alchemy among the disciples of the pavilion. He saw Mo at a glance. Yuan Bai. Back then, there was so much affection between himself and Shangguan 11er. Why did it all change overnight? He still hasn't figured out how deep a woman's mind could be. He looked at Shangguan 11er. It was this woman who accompanied him back then, but killed herself cruelly for profit. Why can a woman do this cruelly? Does she have no feelings? Dust, do you still love me? You were seriously injured during the trip to the Forbidden Land. I was with you and took care of you for 3 days and 3 nights. Did you forget? Shangguan Xie cried. Qin Chen was shocked. When he broke into the Forbidden Land, in order to find out the problem of his blood, he was seriously injured in the Forbidden Land. It was Shangguan Xie who took good care of him and accompanied him day and night. Qin Chen still remembered those scenes clearly. Shangguan 11er felt sorry for herself and her eyes were red from crying. But in an instant, she changed, colluding with Feng Xiaoyu and harming herself. How could a woman's heart become so fast? Qin Chen still didn't want to understand. In the jade disc of good fortune, Yu Chenxue and the others were silent. The hearts of the 3 of them were faintly aching. They didn't care about Qin Chen's past, but when they heard this scene, their hearts were still full of pain. They were not jealous, but full of regrets. Why was it not themselves who accompanied Qin Chen in the first place? No, it's not. The sect master of Phantom Demon shook his head frantically, and his figure suddenly appeared outside the universe jade plate. Qin Chen was startled. Why did sect master of Illusion Demon come out? Sister. Sect master Phantom Demon looked at Qin Chen with complicated eyes, then turned to look at Shangguan 11er, his eyes full of disappointment. Sister, you disappointed me so much. Until now, you still want to lie to him. It was me who accompanied Chen all the time. Sister, Why did you lie and why you couldn't really reform yourself? Sect Master Illusory Demon said painfully, tears flowing wantonly. Qin Chen looked at the illusory demon sect master in shock, and at this moment, his soul also sensed the aura of the abyssal demon lord's soul light, and was close at hand. Qin Chen's eyes suddenly cold. Shangguan 11er, no matter what your reason or purpose is, you can't escape death today. From the moment you and Feng Xiaoyu joined forces to kill me, everything has gone back. After the words fell, Qin Chen instantly instilled his soul power into the mysterious rust sword. Boom! A horrible sword light soared into the sky, accompanied by an endless and terrifying aura of killing, and even blended into the cracked sky mark, time origin, and thunder bloodline. The hatred of 300 years, the grievances of 300 years, have been integrated into this sword. Everything should be over. Boom! Under the sword light, the diamond bracelet was slashed openly, and the endless sword aura was like a vast ocean, completely engulfing Shangguan 11er. Do not! Shangguan 11er let out a miserable scream, and her body burst open. Her human and devil body could not resist Qin Chen's sword. This sword merged with Qin Chen's full strength and cut the past. Cut off Qin Chen's fetters for more than 300 years. This is his farewell to the past, and the farewell to the past. After this sword, he will be a brand new Qin Chen. Boom 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 boom. The endless sword aura roared, the world shook, and the ancient battlefield was blasted through a 100-meter-long gully. In the endless sword aura, Shangguan Xie's body was shattered and turned into powder. At the same time, a soul power soared into the sky, trying to escape. Here, but it's useless, in this sword aura that can kill everything, Shangguan 11er's soul only had time to let out a scream, and it was completely wiped out. Kang! The bright diamond bracelet that was thrown out lost its luster and fell onto the desolate ancient battlefield. Qin Chen held the mysterious rust sword in his hand and watched the scene quietly. He doesn't know how he feels. At this moment, his heart seems to have stopped beating. Today, he finally understands the hatred of 300 years. Sister. Sect Master Phantom kneeled on the ground, tears streaming down his face. Boom! At this moment, the soul light of the Lord of Abyss finally arrived, and seeing this scene was filled with anger. Smelly boy, since you don't give this seat a living, then this seat will fight with you. The master of the deep demon was furious and rumbling. In the sky, endless black fog appeared, and the sky of the ancient battlefield became grey. Z became pitch black, a terrifying cold breath, instantly condensed in the sky. The soul light of the Lord of Abyss demon stood proudly between the heavens and the earth, and terrible magic lights bloomed from him, and the terrible magic energy drew endless magic sources, forming a huge magic energy vortex. Rumble. From outside the ancient battlefield, a series of demonic energy madly condensed. This is the endless demonic energy in the previous demon cave, lingering quickly, covering the sky. At this moment, the entire forbidden place was trembling. Smelly boy, do you think this seat is really afraid of you? This seat is the supreme lord of the abyssal demon. How can you be afraid that a human boy in your area will die for me? Boom! The terrifying demonic energy lingers, the ancient battlefield roars, and the world instantly seems to be at the end of the world. The terrible aura is much more terrifying than the power of the heavenly holy ancient talisman released by Ling Luling before, especially the kind that shatters everything. Tianwei, let Qin. Endless fear emerged from Chen Xin, and his whole body was standing up. Kid Qin Chen, it's no good, this Lord of the Abyss is motivating the original magic power, this guy has left a trace of the original magic in this forbidden land, and the power of the Lord of the Abyss is enough to kill the heavenly sage. Level Master, you hurry to hide in the universe. Good luck in the jade dish. The anxious voice of the cat suddenly sounded in Qin Chen's ears. Qin Chen also felt the threat of death at this moment. The Lord of Abyss demon was too strong. He set up a dark hand back then, leaving a soul separation and a trace of original magic power in this forbidden land, although it was only a trace of original magic power. But it is enough to make the whole Tianwu. The mainland was destroyed. Thanks to this being a place forbidden by the gods, the special place formed by the great battle of the heavens that year was able to withstand the fight of a master-level master, otherwise under this breath, the entire Tianwu continent would also collapse. Of course, the soul of the Lord of the Abyss can only be arrogant in this forbidden land, because once it leaves the forbidden land, its breath will be instantly captured by the Sea of Thunder. At that time, the Sea of Thunder will explode and shoot out lightning, killing it. Boom! In the sky, a dark world-destroying magic light appeared and turned into a black hole that swallowed all things. This terrible light seemed to have penetrated all things in time and space, and burst at Qin Chen instantly. Qin Chen had a feeling that once he was shot by this light, he would definitely die, let alone him. This light, the heavenly sage master, would fall directly. Qin Chen was horrified, and was about to enter the universe good fortune jade disc for the first time, but when he urged the universe good fortune jade disc, he found that he couldn't get in at all. Ha ha ha, the world-killing magic light of this seat can shield all power, you can't hide it. This seat has to see if the treasure in your mind is the one that was the same in the past. The Lord of Abyss Demon laughed wildly, and the soul light on its body disappeared bit by bit, and this blow was also consuming its soul-dividing power. This is a play that hurts both sides. The endless magic light came, swallowing it towards Qin Chen instantly. Less dust. Master. Kid Qin Chen. In the jade disc of good fortune in the universe, Yu Chenxue, Ji Ruyue, Chen Cece, Mo Yuan Bai, Big Black Cat, Laro Yuan, they all spoke in anger, and their faces were shocked. Under this circumstance, even the ***** cat was helpless, and could only watch Qin Chen fall under this light. Seeing that Qin Chen was about to be bombarded by this world-destroying magic light. Suddenly, boom! A black figure suddenly appeared in front of Qin Chen, who was the sect master of Illusory Demon. At the moment of life and death, she madly blocked Qin Chen. Dust. Turning around, sect master Illusory Demon looked at Qin Chen pitifully, his eyes were full of tears, and the expression in his eyes was not fear, but relief. Yes, relief. She facelessly faced Qin Chen. After knowing Qin Chen's true identity, her mood has been fluctuating. She doesn't know how she should face Qin Chen in the future, and at this moment, she is willing to die for Qin Chen. Chen, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have deceived you with my sister back then. I love you, I am willing to give my life for you. Chen, I'm sorry, I have always wanted to say this to you for 300 years, I thought I would never have a chance in my life. I will say this, thank God for giving me this opportunity. Dust, forget me, I am a woman who is not worthy of your love, I am not worthy of you, and I am not worthy of loving you. Sorry. Dust. Boom. When the magic light descended, the sect master of Illusory Demon was shrouded in endless magic light. The veil on her face shattered, revealing an ugly twisted face, but those eyes were brighter than ever. Those eyes hurt Qin Chen's heart instantly. It's you. Qin Chen throbbed, and from these eyes, he saw Shangguan Elevener who was in love with him back then. Do not. She is not Shangguan Xie, but Shangguan Xie's twin sister, Shangguan Wana. It turned out to be her. It turned out that it was her who loved herself deeply. Qin Chen understood everything in an instant, but all this came too late. Boom. The endless magic light enveloped Shangguan Wana, and Qin Chen's eyes suddenly turned blood red. Do not. He roared and rose into the sky to save the opponent. He doesn't know how to deal with this relationship, but he can't just watch a woman die for himself. What shocked Qin Chen was that after the demon light of extinguishing the world swept Zhong Shangguan Wana's body was not shattered, but a deep demon energy suddenly poured into her body. Jie. I lost a body just now, but I didn't expect to get a body again by this seat. This is the immortality of me, Jie. This cold aura was the lord of the abyssal demon. It did not dare to seize Qin Chen, but saw the sect master of the illusionary demon rushing forward, and immediately entered the body of the lord of the illusionary demon. No, how can you have magical power in your body? Suddenly, the lord of the abyss made a frightened sound, and the aura on Shangguan Wana's body was fluctuating rapidly. Obviously, the lord of the abyss was unable to swallow Shangguan Wana's soul and was unable to seize her body for a while. Dead. Qin Chen hurriedly urged the heavenly soul forbidden technique, and a horrible soul force rushed into the body of the illusory sovereign, and he wanted to rescue the elusive sovereign. When Qin Chen's soul power entered the mind of the illusory sovereign, what he saw was a picture a picture of getting along with himself in the past. These memories are deeply rooted in the illusory sovereign's mind. Forget. In addition, the two groups of dark souls are fighting frantically, and there is a unique magical power in the soul of the master of the magic demon, which can resist the devouring of the soul of the master of the abyss. Damn, why this seat is so unlucky. The Lord of the Abyss roars. The gate of the devil, open. With a roar and boom, a dark crack was actually cracked in the sky of the ancient battlefield in the Forbidden Land, and a breath that was so powerful that it could destroy the world and the earth passed from that crack. Behind the crack, there seemed to be a supreme plane. A beam of light shot out from the crack, and suddenly fell on the body of the illusory demon sect master. Whoosh! The phantom demon sect master was quickly pulled into this crack. Dust. Shangguan 11 looked at Qin Chen, tears streaming down, and instantly entered a dark crack, disappearing. Qin Chen stood in the void, looking at this magic light crack between heaven and earth. His heart was full of horror. He could feel that behind this crack, there was a world full of cold air. Behind this crack is obviously a higher plane, exuding an aura that makes Qin Chen's heart palpitating. Qin Chen has a feeling that if he rushes into this crack, facing himself, it is most likely to be death. Boom. In the cracks, the endless black light and the deep demon aura made Qin Mo feel extremely comfortable, but it filled other people with palpitations. This is a power above the plane of Tianwu continent. In Qin Chen's eyes, Shangguan Wan's finally infatuated and liberated gaze appeared. Qin Chen's fists suddenly clenched. He couldn't let Shangguan Wan leave just like that. At this moment, Qin Chen didn't know how he felt about Shangguan Wan. Is it love? But she deceived herself with Shangguan Xie back then and let herself fall into Death Canyon. Is it hate? She is also a poor person, especially when she recalls the little things that year. She has to say that she was happy when she was with Shangguan Wan. This is a love-hate emotion that makes Qin Chen unable to sort out. Whether it was love or hate, Qin Chen couldn't just watch a woman die for herself. Boom. He rose to the sky, trying to rush into this crack. Kid Qin Chen, stop. Do you know what you are doing? This is the gate of the demon world. Behind it, there is a world connected. You dare to enter with your current cultivation base, and you will die forever. The cat sounded in fright. With warnings and reminders. No matter what is behind the gate of the demon world, I can't let a woman die for me. Qin Chen snorted coldly. He was about to go up, bang, but there was a horror in the gate of the demon world. The breath, a trace of magic, permeated from it. It was actually going to erode the entire ancient battlefield and the entire Forbidden Land. This is the oppression from a higher plane, to swallow this lower plane. Puff. Qin Chen was directly shocked, and the breath escaping from the gate of the demon world was too terrifying. Only a trace of it made Qin Chen's blood solidify and almost freeze. Even the immortal Eucharist could not resist, because of his current cultivation level. Too low. No, this is the world in the gate of the demon world that is devouring the Tianwu continent. If enough demon aura is allowed to diffuse out, then the entire Tianwu continent will collapse, and all the people will fall. The cat said in shock. What? Qin Chen's expression was extremely ugly. This demon world's aura was so terrifying. Just when this trace of devilish energy was about to escape in this ancient battlefield, suddenly, a magnificent breath swept across from a distance, and when this breath approached, it immediately took control of the world. It is the aura of the origin of the Tianwu continent. Along with the origin of heaven and earth, there is also the power of the long river of years. As soon as the power of the years appeared, it immediately enveloped this square of heaven and earth. It actually began to corrode the breath emanating from the gate of the demon world, and the formed power quickly arrived. In the origin of heaven and earth, the breath of the demon gate suddenly melted like a snake and scorpion, and the crack in the sky was also quickly closed, and finally disappeared. Cool. The world is calm, and all the breath has disappeared. Qin Chen looked at the breath in the sky with an ugly expression, and his eyes showed helplessness. Shangguan Wan disappeared, and entered the crack along with the Lord of the Abyss. Master. Chen Cc suddenly appeared beside Qin Chen, looking up at the calm sky, tears streaming down his face. She did not expect that Master and Chen Shao would have an unforgettable love. At the last moment, in order to save Qin Chen, Master was willing to dedicate his life, and was taken to the gate of the demon world by the Lord of Abyss Demon. Whoosh whoosh. A group of figures appeared. It was the cat and Lao Yuan. They all looked at the sky silently, sighing in their eyes. Almost, Qin Chen fell, and the terrifying attack released by the Lord of the Abyss in the split soul rage was enough to destroy the heavenly sage master. If it weren't for the master of illusory demon, Qin Chen was alive or dead, it was really hard to say. Kid Qin Chen, don't think too much. The illusory demon sect master was taken to the gate of the demon realm. I am afraid that life and death will be unpredictable, and it will be too bad. The cat sighed. What is behind the gate of the demon world? Qin Chen suddenly turned his head and looked at the cat. The gate of the demon realm is actually a secret method of the Abyss demon race. It should be connected to another world. If I am not mistaken, behind the gate of the demon realm should be the infinite demon prison of the Abyss demon race. Infinite demon prison? Qin Chen wondered. Yes, the infernal demon prison is located in the heavens and is the territory of the Abyssal Demon Clan. It is rumored that after every member of the Abyssal Demon Clan leaves the Infinite Demon Prison, no matter where they go, they can return to the Infinite Demon Prison through a special secret method. Because you and more people have special. A special method can leave the coordinates of the Infinite Demon Prison in the body, so that it can travel through any plane and return to the Infinite Demon Prison. There is the birthplace of the Abyssal Demon race. Qin Chen frowned, but isn't the heavens destroyed? If the Infinite Demon Prison is in the heavens, how can the soul of the former Abyssal Demon Lord return? The cat shook his head and said, the heavens are destroyed, but the specifics are destroyed. I'm afraid no one knows what it will be like. What is certain is that the heavens are not completely destroyed, otherwise where did the previous masters of the heavens come from? Not to mention the heavens that came this time. Man, at the beginning in the celestial passage in the depths of the Blood Sea, didn't there also celestial masters who came countless years ago? So I guess that although the heavens are destroyed, they actually still exist, they are just broken. This guess surprised everyone. Broken heaven? This is really possible. If the heavens are completely destroyed, it is impossible to explain where so many masters of the heavens come from. In other words, the heaven is still there. Everyone was shocked. The cat nodded. This is affirmative, but I am afraid that I can only know what it looks like when I go to the heavens. In fact, the emperor originally had this guess, but I have never been sure, but I saw the previous Ling Luling and others, the emperor. On the contrary, he has more confidence. Hihi, if the heaven is destroyed, where will there be Yaomya Mansion? Everyone is throbbing. This news is too important to them. Heaven realm? Qin Chen clenched his fists and looked at the cat with scorching eyes. That is to say, as long as you go to the heaven realm, it is possible to go to that infinite demon prison. This is the theory, but it's actually very difficult. The cat didn't want to hit Qin Chen, but still said, the infinite demon prison is the birthplace of the Yuan demon clan. This place is where the Yuan demon clan's secret lies. It is one of the most mysterious places in the heavens. In other words, everyone in the heavens knows the existence of the infinite demon prison, but no one knows where it is. It is so difficult to find the infinite demon prison, and I am afraid it is not easier than breaking through to the Holy Lord. The most important thing is, if the soul separation of the Lord of Abyss Demon really goes to the infinite demon prison, once the Abyss Demon race knows that their masters are sealed on the Tianwu continent, what do you think will happen? The cat sneered. Dao. Qin Chen's heart trembled. Everyone also took a breath, and they all understood the consciousness of the cat. Once the people of the Abyssal Demon race knew that Tianwu continent had sealed a master of the Abyssal Demon race, wouldn't they be able to attack immediately? The Deep Demon race, that is one of the top races in the heavens. It is definitely more terrifying than the Yaomya Mansion. With such forces coming, is there any hope of survival in the Tianwu continent? That's why I advise you not to be reckless. You are now the hope of the Tianwu continent. Now, not only the heavenly masters are coming, but there are even more terrible crises lurking. You could enter the gate of the demon world regardless of your life and death, but once so do. What about Tianwu continent? Qin Chen was silent. The heart is heavy, yes, Qianwu continent still needs him, and countless people still need him. Especially people from the heavens. There are only 3 years, enough to do. Big Black Cat, I understand, what do you dare to do? Qin Chen said with a gleam in his eyes. Sovereign illusory demon must be saved. Whether she is alive or dead, she must figure it out, but not now. What can you do? The only thing you can do now is to improve your strength. Big Black Cat said. I also know this, but how can I improve? Moreover, the other party will be coming in 3 years. With my current strength, no matter how I practice, I am afraid it will be too late. Qin Chen smiled bitterly, and it was too difficult to improve his realm, although he is repaired. In the midterm of the near-mortal sacred realm, but wanting to rise to the point of confronting the people from the heavens, it is so difficult that it will reach the sky. Actually, it's not impossible. The cat suddenly laughed. Any solution? Everyone looked over. If you continue to cultivate in the Qianwu continent, it won't do any more, but if you go to the heavens, the rules and avenues of the heavens are far beyond this world. In the heavens, with your talents, you may not be able to break into a new world. Come, said the cat. But now the world has changed drastically, and it is no longer possible to break through the void with force. How can we go to the heaven? Mo Yuanbai was curious. In fact, there are many ways. For example, you can leave the Qianwu continent directly, travel through the void of the universe, across various planes, and you can naturally rush to the heavens. The heavens are also a plane. Just in this universe, it is not nothing. The place where the law reaches. You are all masters in the holy realm right now, so you can do this. Ling Luling and others should start from the heavens and attack the lower planes. But this process will be very long, and no one knows what will be encountered in the void. Even the Yarrow Annihilation Mansion team wants to reach the Qianwu continent for 3 full years. If you use this method, I'm afraid it will take more time. Mo Yuanbai smiled bitterly. When we reach the heavens like this, wouldn't the Qianwu continent have already been contributed? That's for sure. The cat nodded. Where is there anything to say? Everyone was speechless. The cat gave everyone a glance. In addition to the first method, there is another method, but there are some risks. What? Everyone was curious. Stupid, have you forgotten the Sea of Blood God? The cat said lightly. You mean, which passage under the blood seabed? Qin Chen was startled. He vaguely knew what the cat was thinking. That's right. The cat nodded and believed. What we can know now is that the passage is indeed leading to the heavens. Back then, the person could rely on this passage to come from the heavens to the Qianwu continent. This channel directly. Going to the heavens, the only trouble is not knowing where in the heavens behind this passage leads, and whether there is any danger. Qin Chen frowned. This was indeed a way. It seems. There is only this way. Qin Chen's eyes flickered, and the time must be quickened. Let's go back to settle down, and then think of a way to go to the heavens. After speaking, Qin Chen will leave this ancient battlefield. What is the urgency? Even if you go to the heavens now, it will only take 3 years, or even less. Are you sure you can cultivate to the realm of defeating the masters of Yaromir Mansion in such a short time? The cat suddenly sneered. Qin Chen smiled bitterly. He already knew from the mouth of the cat that any breakthrough in the holy realm requires a lot of time, not only the perception of the rules, but also the breakthrough and improvement of the body, and then genius people, think. It would take hundreds of years to cultivate in order to break through at the holy realm level. In a mere 3 years, I am afraid that there is not enough time to consolidate the cultivation base. However, knowing this, Qin Chen did not admit defeat. For the current plan, there is only one way. Is it to watch the enemy come and destroy the Qianwu continent? Big Black Cat, this young man also knows that it is difficult, but no matter what, this young man will never give up, and will not let anyone destroy our hometown. Qin Chen gritted his teeth, his eyes were bright, and his whole body bloomed with terrible fighting spirit. Yes, fight to the death to the end. Yu Chenxue and the others are also cold. Even if there is no hope, how can it be? They are all unwilling to admit defeat, willing to fight at the last minute. It's stupid. If there is no solution, I will propose this idea. You don't need to think about it, it's really stupid. Seeing Qin Chen and their aura, the cat was speechless. Do you have a way? Everyone looked over. The cat looked contented. If I can't help it, I will let you do this, you are not stupid. Damn, there is a way you can't tell. Qin Chen raised his head and gave the cat a thud. You brat dare to beat the emperor. The cat jumped up, his hair cocked and it was about to explode. Okay, let's go back and find a female cat for you. Qin Chen couldn't help but leaned, quickly, what can I do? Others also looked fiercely. Years are long. The cat uttered 4 words unpredictably. A long river of years. What do you mean? Qin Chen was confused and couldn't help but smashed over with another violent shudder. The cat whizzed and jumped away. I warn you, do something to the emperor, believe it or not. You are welcome. Okay, I won't do it, you talk carefully. Qin Chen asked. The long river of years is the most mysterious river between heaven and earth, and the time rule is also one of the most powerful rules between heaven and earth. In the long river of years, it has amazing power of time, and even the origin of the world of the source continent can be restored. This is also the reason why the Tianwu continent is here, but in the same way, the power of time can accelerate time. The cat said solemnly. This video will end here.